Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Sarah Lewis, and I started All Moms Need Help as a way to get information to other moms and parents and fathers and guardians on popular topics and subjects that are going on right now, especially in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, where our lives have been upended personally and professionally. At this point, depending on where you live, I think for everyone, school is out. Some communities and some states are starting to reopen slowly but surely, but some are still going to be closed down for a while. And one of the topics that I've seen in Facebook chats and with other moms is, we may be home for a while. How can we still get in our exercise? How can we take care of our bodies and our health as moms to have some time, adults to have some time, but also, to learn ways that you can work with your children as well. And there are solutions, things you can do at home to take care of yourself. And so I'm very excited to introduce to you. We have a very special guest, and her name is Caroline Lewis Jones. She is a mom of two sweet, precious little boys, a professional dancer and choreographer, a certified plant-based lifestyle coach. She's partnered with the Juice Plus company and Health Made Simple community, and she has dedicated her life to helping others make health fun, simple, and doable. And I'll actually say that description is somewhat deceiving because Caroline has literally danced around the world, as I would say. In fact, before she's joined us today with this video, she was sharing her talents across the globe. So we're excited to welcome Caroline today. And Caroline, you have such cute little boys. You got two little boys, you're boy moms. So tell us about that.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Sarah. I love being a boy mom, being a dancer, mainly teach girls. So I think I was convinced that I was going to have girls, but as soon as I had Cruz, I was just like, yeah, I'm meant to be a boy mom. And then I had Ashby, and they're super fun. They definitely keep me on my toes. And right now, especially, Cruz will sit there and color for 4 hours if he wants to. And then there's Ashby, who just is running around in this gym and has to do something every single second of the day. So I love being a mom, and I'm 39, I feel great. I attribute that to just taking care of my body, and living just a healthy, simple lifestyle, and doing my best to, move those actions and principles into my kids as well, so that they grow up healthy and happy and safe.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I love this. Caroline is joining us from her own gym at home. She's created this, mecca, something that probably most of us were not prepared for when this pandemic came and we couldn't go to our gym or whatever we were going to do. But Caroline has just, because of her nature and what she does for a living anyway, she has just a wonderful gym that fills in all kinds of gaps. But most people obviously don't have that. And so she's going to share with us some things we can do today. And one thing, Caroline, I thought was really interesting when this pandemic hit was that there was a run on exercise equipment. I know my husband was freaking out because he couldn't go to the gym, and he was like, what am I going to do? And so I think one of the things we're going to talk about today, and you're going to probably show us as well, is, you can get in an effective exercise, working the right muscle groups, even if you have like 10, 15, maybe only 20 minutes. And I mean, literally that's all you have, mom, maybe. And then there are some just basic things that you can still order online. You can still get to have it at your house, kettlebells or things like that. So I'll kind of let Caroline jump in from there. Just recommendations that she would have for other moms if you've got short on time, but you need to get some exercise.
I think that's the key, what you just said. Like, any exercise is great exercise, even if it means you're going on a power walk for even 10 to 15 minutes. I even know right now I'm homeschooling Cruz, who's just in kindergarten, but even for him, while he's doing his schoolwork, after, even 30, 40 minutes, I'll say, all right, 10-minute break. Let's go outside and let's get in the fresh air and move our bodies. And we have a really steep hill outside of our driveway, and we'll walk up that hill 5 times. And it just totally brings in a new energy when it's time to go back and sit down. But I did write down some equipment that I feel like is great, and it's easy to store. If you don't have a lot of space, you can't see my gym because it's there actually. And I have mirrors put up, And the funny part is I actually did this before the quarantine because I knew that I wanted to have a dance space, if you will. So the first one that I believe everybody should have is a kettlebell. Yeah, and this is what it looks like. This is a 20-pound kettlebell. They make 5-pound kettlebells, but honestly, if you want to like get more bang for your buck and really get an effective workout in 10 to 15 minutes, I would get a 15 to 20-pound kettlebell. If you're really advanced and like you work out tons, you know, a 20 and a 30 or even a 40, you know, we have several varieties, but a 20 is awesome, you know, and you can do so many wonderful ways to squat with this. And I'll kind of give you a sequence in a second, but even just holding the kettlebell like this, like nice in your hands, and then just squatting and up, down and up. Yeah, squeezing the inner thighs as you come up, making sure that the weight's in the heels, chest is nice and lifted, squeezing. You could also drop it. You could go here, lifting, down and up. There's so many fun things. You can lunge with this thing. So many great, you know, ways. So that's easy. You can store that. The second one is having some sort of band. Let me actually pull this out real fast so you can see it. But this is just a long, skinny band. They make different strengths. But I love this thing. I don't like to lift tons of weights. A lot of people think I do just because I'm super muscular, but I actually don't. I really love to use pulling devices. So having a band is a great option. Let me put this through really quick. Hold on, I shouldn't have taken it out. And they make different resistances, but I would get 1 or 2 resistances. You can do squats with them. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have pulled it out, but I did.
And I think it's a great idea because what you're also talking about is safely doing it, because, you know, you don't want people that don't understand the posture. You can hurt your back. You can hurt yourself if you don't have that correct. So I love what you're talking about, because this is a safe way to do this and grow muscle without overdoing it and hurting yourself.
Yep. Oh my God, as soon as I said that I had it situated here. But long story short, I'm here and I'm just going to be pulling back this way, shoo, in front. So pulling back in here, pulling back in here. Yeah, I mean, you can do even stuff like this with it. I'll put my feet actually into the band like this, open my legs, and I'll squat, and then I'll pull the band straight up. You know, squat, pull the band straight up. There's so many versatile things, even standing here and pulling it apart to work the back muscles that way. I love to stretch with the band. That's fun too. 2 more pieces of equipment. If you were able to get a Physioball, I love this thing. It's so great. You can do sit-ups on the Physioball, you know, walk your feet out, lower back on the ball, lifting up and down and down. Even just simply balancing on the ball, having nice posture and lifting here and just holding this position and down, up and down. So many great things you can do it. You could do pelvic tilts on it. I'll show you that really fast. You can do roll-ins. This is great for balance. You can point your toes, just lifting straight up, squeezing down, lifting straight up. So you're squeezing the booty, the hamstrings, the abdominals, lifting down. If you're more advanced, you know, you can do roll-ins where you flex the feet this way. You can balance right here. You can do bridges with this. So many fun things you can do with it. So that's a great tool. And a lot of times these devices come with a manual with neat exercises in them. And then the last one is this. It is called a medicine ball. This is a 20-pound medicine ball. This is probably my favorite piece of equipment. Reason being is this, it's heavy. So when it drops, it's like a sandbag. But again, I can do squats with it. I can do overhead presses with it. I can do wall slams. Squat, pick it up. Squat, pick it up. Yeah. Tons of versatile things, you know, you can do, you know, abdominal twist with it, holding it this way, twisting. So this piece of equipment is wonderful. So I would say get a medicine ball, definitely get some sort of a band. If you can't get a kettlebell, again, a normal, you know, free weight would work as well. And then a medicine ball. Those are kind of like my toys that I love. And I feel like I can use my entire body, you know, when I am moving. They're fun for the kids too. The boys love to roll on this thing. They like to try and balance on it. So I'll bring them into the gym with me too. Like, Don't sacrifice your workout because you're scared your kids are going to interrupt it. Bring them in here with you. You know, like you can't see it right now, but I've got a TRX hanging right here. My kids love to swing on it. And I'm like, mommy needs 20 minutes. You can do whatever you want. We've made it, you know, fairly safe in here. You know, it's your time to work out. It's my time to work out. I have a little mini trampoline that they like to jump on, which is super, super fun. So, you know, while I'm in the middle of doing burpees, I'll tell Cruz, all right, do 10 jumping jacks. So we try to do it together. And then that way I'm also able to help me and serve me, but then also teach them the importance of moving their body as well. And when it comes to exercises, like if I had to pick 5 exercises that I feel like if I had to do 5 exercises for 10 minutes, what I would do is I would do a burpee first. I would do burpees. I would do 15 to 20 burpees. So 25 exercises, 20 reps each. So arms are up, arms are down. You can either walk back, you know, or you can jump back out. You can do a push-up if you want. You can always take the knees down, do a push-up. I'm gonna jump or walk in, lifting up, down, back, push up, jump, and lift. So I would do 20 of those. And then I would come to my medicine ball and I would do 20 medicine ball throws. If you don't have that, no big deal, yeah. But this is one that you could do, the medicine ball. I'm gonna do 20 of those. Next, I would do with my band connected. I disconnected it, but I would do lat pulls. So I'd hold my band. Now stand here, booty squeeze, stomach nice and tall, and I would do rows. And I would do 20 of those. 20 of those, bam. One of my favorite things to do is a little bit of a hop. So I'm gonna go on my arms into a plank position. And heck, even just this is such a fantastic exercise just to be into a plank. But what I like to do is little hops. They're called bunny hops. So I squeeze my legs together and I go hop, 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 hop. Not only is it working the stomach, but obviously you're working your booty, you're working your arms. So that would be the 4th one. And then the 5th one would be my roll-ins on my back. These guys again. Yeah. And if you don't have that, what about this? What about just a simple, beautiful bridge, right? And down. Most people do bridges wrong. They go like this. But you really just want to initiate from the lower abdominals, wrap from the booty and down, squeezing up. Obviously, if you have a weight, you can put a weight on your belly. Boom. So I would do burpees. I would do my medicine ball throws, or you could substitute a lunge for that. Then I would do my pulls, right? And then I would do my planks, my bunny hops, or you could do runners, you know, knee to the chest, knee to the chest, knee to the chest. If you're advanced, you know what to do. You can do more interesting stuff there. And then the last one would be my bridges, my pelvic tilts. So that way you're working the whole body, yeah. But you really could do all that. You could probably get through that set twice in 10 minutes. So that would be amazing. Your heart rate's up. And if you don't have time to that and you're not into this kind of stuff, then just get outside and power walk, you know? Have your scooter, my kids ride their scooters next to me. I'm like, all right, let's run the street twice. They'll scooter up and down while I'm jogging. Again, just to get some time for me to get that blood flowing in my body and get those endorphins moving. When I don't work out, I'm not as nice. I will say I'm definitely more fiery as a mom. I'm not as patient. And just not, yeah, I'm just definitely not as patient. When I can move my body, it's amazing what happens to me just being a mom and, you know, being more present with them too. So what we need it is, it's really important as parents that we have that time for ourselves. So I hope that helps.
Absolutely. And, you know, I love what you're talking about too. You know, Caroline, my story in that I had major back surgery a few years ago. And so my mobility just for me in my lower back is really limited. And, but even when I went through physical therapy, a lot of what you talked about today and showed me was something that they worked with me through, you know, the resistance. So you know, as a person, everybody doing any of these exercises, you know where your limit is. If it feels like, you know, there's that line, right, where it's like, this is pain, or this is just, you know, my new muscles working here. So there's kind of that line too, and new muscles working is a fantastic thing. And then, of course, if it hurts, then let's go ahead and back down a little bit. But most of what you showed, I mean, anybody, even people like me, that may have some physical ailments, can still do all of those sorts of things. And that is right in that time frame that you talked about is great. And I love that you talked about incorporating the children, because we all know the children have to get their physical education too. They've got it. It's even part of their curriculum anyway. So, and that creates that family togetherness, which we want to see. One thing I did want to ask you is stretching. What are your thoughts with like stretching before and after, or just after? Or, I mean, did you have any, I guess, preference on that?
Yeah, super important. It's actually a huge topic that I love to talk to dancers about, because a lot of people just like to stretch statically, meaning they'll just like sit there in a lunge like this, or like, or a lot of dancers will just plop into their splits. But you really want to do dynamic stretching first, and then your static stretching at the end. So an example of how I would warm up would be, I'm going to face side so it's my body, but just gently pulling my knees up. I would do about 15 to 20 of these. Right? Next one would be maybe just some small lunges, just to start to get my inner core, warmed up. I would do small lunges, about 20 to 30 of these. Butt kicks. I love this one. You inhale, roll down, walk out, tiptoe in, bend the knees, roll up. Inhale, roll down, walk it out. Tiptoe in. Sorry, roll up. So that's more that's more dynamic stretching, right? And then, or you could, if you're going to do lunges, like switching, this is more dynamic, right? This is getting my heart rate up and getting my body ready for big movements. Now then, versus at the end, static stretching would be, a sunrise salutation, right? Moving side to side, stretching the more lateral side of your body. Actually going into a lunge, holding that position for, about 45 seconds to a minute, really lengthening and finding breath, and switching, finding that length, sitting in this position, in the butterfly position, nice and tall and long. So that's more static. So dynamic before you move, static at the end. That's very, very important. Yeah.
That's really good. That's helpful information for sure. The importance of, obviously stretching, because you don't want to overexert or hurt yourself or anything like that. But I love stretching. Of course, that's like my favorite.
Oh, and that will change your life too, I will tell you. And I think if I had to pick, truthfully, like I think we're all in stressful times right now, I would personally choose, especially if you're not used to moving your body like I am. I'm a professional athlete, like I know that I do a lot of this stuff. But if you're just getting started, I mean, even finding like a restorative yoga, there's so much stuff online right now. I would do more mind body centering things to get your headspace in the right place. Because if you come in here and you're like, what do I do with this thing? You might get a little nervous, but maybe just taking an online class just with basic movement, or I promise you there's classes out there that teach you how to do a burpee or teach you, a basic hatha yoga. So start small. It's kind of like with healthy eating, what I do with my clients, like we start small and then just build onto those practices. And then to me, that's when true habits start to change. And then choose courage over comfort. Does that make sense?
Mm.
I think often things like this make us nervous, right? We're like, oh my God, I can't do that, right? So we stick with comfort because it's easy just to sit back and not do anything. Or we can step out of our shell and find that deep inner courage and bravery and be like, okay, I can do this, and think about what that courage is going to then lead you to down the road, and think about then the practices, like you said earlier, that will instill into your children. So courage over comfort, and don't be afraid to like pivot. In dance, you go like this. Pivoting in dance is like this: pivot, turn, pivot, turn, pivot, turn. So I tell people also, don't be scared to like pivot in your life. You're going to have pivots every day and all day long. It's not going to go your way all the time, right? Especially with kids. I mean, it's like, you never know what's going to happen. So don't be afraid to just, go on a whim and just try it and see what happens. You might fall. You might fail at it. That's okay. I mean, that happens to me all the time. And I think that's what makes me get better at my practices, right? So I definitely do believe in that mindset, courage over comfort. And if you haven't checked out Brene Brown, check her out. She's awesome.
Brene Brown, right? That's
Yeah.
what you said. So you brought up a good point is about it's a holistic plan. Working out, exercise is one part of it, you know, in stretching, drinking water. But and I know the next part we want to talk about is nutrition. And one of the things I love about Caroline, and I've worked with Caroline with Juice Plus, is the focus on getting your plants, getting your vegetables. And this is not an anti-meat sort of conversation by any means, but because protein's important and we need to get those. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that, you know, we're reading a lot and hearing a lot about potential meat shortages anyways, with this current pandemic. And so for those that, you know, are possibly going to go to the grocery store and there's going to be some sort of scarcity at the grocery store on meat or some foods anyways, you know, you can get what you need from plants and other supplements, that sort of thing. So I'll let Caroline fill that gap in for us, what she has found has been a blessing really to her family, her and her family, as far as plant nutrition.
Definitely. So quick journey. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 8 years old and literally was sick for most of my life for 17 years. And she did pass away 14 years ago. If you live in South Carolina, if you've ever been to the C&T shop, she was the owner of that. It was a very awesome store. And when I was 13, they gave her about a year to live. Crazy, need you go, baby. They gave her about a year to live. And at that time, chemo wasn't working, radiation wasn't working. There's my little boy. Hi, Crazy. So we actually went to 14 Care, which is like a natural grocery store in Lexington, South Carolina. We learned about a plant-based diet. And all I will tell you is that she lived 10 years longer and there's nothing else we changed. And I so believe in the power of a plant-based diet. And again, not vegan. I'm not saying that. I am vegan, but that's not something I preach or promote. I just preach like eat more fruits and vegetables. No one gets enough. There is not one clinical study that says plants can do your body harm, right? But now I can show you research, clinical, really gold standard research that shows that too much animal protein in the diet can do damage. So for me, it's just all about flooding my clients, flooding my dancers and athletes and moms and kiddos with as much plant-based food as possible. We know it reduces oxidative stress. We know that it reduces systemic inflammation, which is the precursor for every single disease on earth. We know that it's great for wound healing. You know, for my athletes that are training so hard and get injured, the first thing I'll say to them is eat more plants as you're in that healing process, because it's amazing how those plants heal the body from the inside out. We call it cellular nutrition, oxidative stress. But if you want to protect you and your kids and your husband or your partner, whoever, as best as possible, start to encourage more plant-based foods in the household and all the colors of the rainbow. And we know that people with the strongest microbiome, which is your gut health, eat the most colors of the rainbow. And gut health, to me, brain health, gut health, that correlation is hands down the root issue, probably with most people's conditions. I would say it starts down there. So yeah, that's what I love, and that's what I'm passionate about, and love to guide people through that. 16 years ago, I did find Juice Plus, and it just made sense to me. It was just encapsulated produce, basically. I call them my plant powders. It's just encapsulated, dehydrated fruits and vegetables. So I've been using that as my nutrition as an athlete for 16 years, but then now I'm a mom, and when I became a mom, that was like, okay, I want to share this with other families so moms know that there is an actual food-based product, not a supplement, but not a vitamin, but actually labeled a food that we can give our children every day that gives them over 30 different colors of the rainbow, which is pretty awesome. They come in gummies. They look like this. They taste wonderful. I take the capsules. So I basically take over 40 different colors of the rainbow every single day. And our community is Health Made Simple. It's just simple. It's easy. It's something that I can do every day for us. So that's kind of how we start our morning. Making a smoothie in the morning is a great idea to kickstart your day. And it's easy too, right? You have frozen berries, maybe you have frozen bananas. I like to actually freeze my greens, like freeze a big bag of raw spinach. We use something called Juice Plus Complete, which is a plant-based smoothie mix. It tastes awesome. It comes in chocolate or vanilla. We'll throw that in there. And again, it's just more plants getting into us. And then I'll put like avocado into it, maybe dates. I just make it really caloric and really fiber fueled. and fiber filled. And my boys love it. We also make fun, I made some of these so you can see a great healthy snack or energy bites. They look like this. This is a wonderful snack. They have ground up oats. They have dairy-free, nut-free chocolate chips in them. They have the vanilla Juice Plus Complete in it. Has sun butter, has organic maple syrup in it. It has hemp hearts and chia seeds. They're so easy. You can make these in 5 minutes. My boys ask for these all day long. So what I do is a lot of times I'll freeze them. And so instead of my kids saying, hey mom, I want a cookie, I'm like, here, have an energy bite. And they're great. Kids come over all the time and they're just like, do you have energy bites? And I'm like, yes. These are, I'm just gonna show you some examples of snacks we have. This is something that the boys can always go into our pantry or whatever and put their hands in and grab it. This is a free-for-all. They can always have this, it's just dried cherries, dried banana chips from Trader Joe's, and almonds. We are a nut-free family because we do have a nut allergy. So we do almonds and we do sun butter. Another great one is seaweed. Seaweed's awesome for kids. At Costco, I know Costco has these right now, but Trader Joe's always has these in stock. But there's just organic roasted seaweed snacks. And they're like little sheets of paper. If your kid's like a salty treat, wonderful. Also a wonderful source of what? Iodine. Many people are iodine deficient. So the sea vegetables are great. Something else for my moms, this is like a power snack for me. I will take an avocado, I'll cut it in half, take the seed out, and then I'll sprinkle this on it, the everything but the bagel sesame seasonings from Trader Joe's. If you've never had this, you need to get this. And I will sprinkle this on the avocado, and then maybe you could do like some lime juice or lemon juice, and I will just literally eat it with a spoon. A wonderful 300-calorie snack right there. Especially like pre-training, post-training. So that's a great snack. And also we have a massive fruit bowl in our house. The kids know that they anytime can put their hands into that fruit bowl and grab what they want. They don't have to ask. So that's kind of having not stations, but areas in your house where in the kitchen specifically, like this is a green zone. You can go and get this anytime you want. And we have fun things in our house to eat, but my kids also know that if they want a fruit leather from Trader Joe's, they need to ask me. There's a bowl in the pantry, and that's like, okay, you need to ask mom if you want this. Because if not, what would happen? They would eat these all day long, right? And sneak them. So that's kind of how we live our life and talk to our kids about food. Raisins, simple things like this that are easy to have. Rice cakes are awesome with, peanut butter or sun butter on them, almond butter. You can sprinkle raisins on top, some cinnamon. That's really yummy. And those are just some ideas that I use. And then we use the Complete a lot. I make cake batter out of this. I make muffins, I make pancakes, waffles. So this is a wonderful thing as well. And then just to wrap up, I have 4 things as a mom or as a dad, if you're looking at something to consume, there's 4 points. The first one is, does it have a food label by the FDA? Very, very important. So actually looking at the label, and does it have a food label? Not a supplement, not a vitamin, but food label. That's one. The second one, does it have, it's called NSF on it. And that is a third-party control. So third-party testing for pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, E. coli, lead contamination. You need to see that. Even if it says organic vegan protein mix, look for that certification. If you don't see it, then to me, I just put it back because I want that seal of approval. Also, if you see sports NSF approved, which that's what Juice Plus is, professional athletes can take it. Olympians can take it because it has that sports NSF approval as well. Third one is there any clinical gold standard research? Double blind, very, very, very important. And yes, Juice Plus meets those marks. We have over 41 clinical gold standard studies and counting of research that they're doing on how Juice Plus affects the body. And not just Juice Plus, but they're also studying just a plant-based diet and how plant-based eating, how essential it is for our bodies to be as strong as possible. And then the last one is that any age can take it. We even have pediatrician guidelines for 5-month-olds, 6-month-olds. So anybody can take Juice Plus. There's no, if your kid happens to eat the whole bag of Juice Plus gummies, there's no toxic warning label on there. That's huge. Nowhere on our products does it say if you're pregnant, ask your doctor. It's really neat. It's clinically proven for pregnant women. So I love it. I believe in it. I share it just like I'm sharing it with you guys now because it is a part of my life, and it has been for a very long time. But the key is take care of your body. You have this one body to live in, and if you don't take care of it, I love to say, where are you going to live? If you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? And food too is information. Your body knows what food is. It also knows what is not food. And I promise you, you will feel it if you're lethargic after you eat, if you're tired. Your food is saying to you, hey, or your body is saying, this isn't what my body needed at this time. And the last thing I'll share is just make sure right now, moms and dads, like, you are taking care of yourself, because I know this is tough. This is hard. You know, we're very lucky where we live. We live in a lot of land and a lot of space, but you know, I will say that even my mental state right now, not being able to travel, like my work's been on halt now. It's going to be, I can't go back to work for probably until October, because we teach so many children. I teach like 500 to 1,000 kids every weekend. So that's, you know, my heart is heavy over that. So I'm doing my best, but if I was not taking care of myself, I think my mental state would not be great, because I can't do my passion right now, you know, in terms of dancing, like the way that I want to. So take care of your body. It really is a beautiful temple that God, or whatever you believe in, gave us. And we have to take care of it. It's really important. And your kids are a direct reflection of you, for sure.
Absolutely. That's a good point. And, you know, last week I did a video with the nutritionist, and one of the things we talked about, and of course we've probably all heard as well, is the conversation on the importance of vitamin C and vitamin D. And then you hear about zinc supplements and some other things like that. And you're going to get that from the plants. You're going to get that from fresh air. You're going to get that from sunshine. And a lot of what you just vitally need is going to come from exercise as well. It all comes together, and it is a holistic approach. And like all things, you know, if your children see you doing it, that becomes a part of who they are, and they're gonna gravitate towards that as well. You're teaching them. But ultimately, you know, we want moms and parents, you got to take care of yourself. You really do. You can find 10 minutes. You have to find it and do it. And
everybody has 10 minutes. I get that a lot. Someone will say, I don't have 10 minutes. I'm like, yes, you do.
You'll make it. You'll make that time.
Closet. Everybody has it, you know. But it is definitely important to have that, for sure.
Well, we thank you so much for joining us today, Caroline. And I know you're really busy. And the information you share with us is vital. And what I'm going to do, as always, I share these videos on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, and then I also put them on my website. And typically on my website, I'll any notes, anything we discussed, I'll put that on there as well. So there's more of a content and transcripts. But what I'm also going to do, if anybody is interested and has more specific questions for Caroline, or wants to find a way to get a hold of her, I will have that information up as well on the allmomsneedhelp.com website. And I'll probably be able to get that on both the Facebook by tagging her and on the YouTube channel. But as always, when I do these videos, I want them to be, you know, viewer led. So any other topics or questions, if you've got something for Caroline, I know she'll jump in and help us. Or if you want to learn more about this or any other topics, just reach out to me through any of the platforms that I have. And until we meet again next time, you know, stay safe and healthy and well. But I would be remiss if I didn't ask Caroline at least if there was anything I missed, because I usually ask my guests, is there anything else that you want to share before I sign off?
No, this is wonderful. I'm so grateful that you're doing this for all the mamas out there. I think it's so important. We're grateful for you.
Well, thank you. Well, I've known Caroline for many years, and she's also, I will say, I give a little plug to Juice Plus, is besides having back problems, I also have IBS. I got a lot of problems, people, but she did help me with, I do enjoy the Juice Plus supplements, and I've never had a reaction or anything to that. I have to be careful about a lot of things. So I'll definitely give a plug to Juice Plus, getting started with that. And Caroline's a great resource if you're going to do that, because she's worked with them for almost 20 years. That's a long time to really understand the company and know it. But all that being said, I appreciate everyone for joining Caroline and I, and we look forward to any questions you have. And thank you for joining us today. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay well until we meet again. Bye.